Hey yo, it's Guido. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. As always, appreciate your support of the channel. Hey, let's talk about some basics here. We're gonna do some side scraping in the low. Been playing that a bit lately. I had some block missions for the Germans for the Excalibur and decided to use this guy, and it's a great side scraper. Let's see how we do here. We're gonna move in. I think actually eat some shots here. Yeah, eat a shot that I probably shouldn't have right there from the Centurion. And I get a bounce and boom. All right, so lucky on that. Unknown where he hit me. Probably the upper plate. Let's see. Do we have any damage in here to see where he might have hit me? Hard to see. But I see that I have an ST1. I'm thinking, all right, good. So let's bait this guy. I've already got 440 blocks, so we'll come in here. Try to put a shot into his little hip plate or side plate there. And I'll go to gold. So I need a little more pen. And I'm going to just kind of bait. Boom. There we go. So he takes a shot unwisely. Put a shot back into him on that plate with the gold. It's enough to go through. Now I'm just going to slowly, with as much angle as possible, not letting him get to my lower plate, right? So as I back out, I do not want him to see, and it's hard to see because I can't really zoom that much. But if you look at it from his standpoint with the gun, I do not want him to be able to see any of that part of my tank. Ideally not too much of the track either, in case he can come in at enough angle to get through the track and into the hole behind it. But there's a lot of track here on the low, so you really got to hug over on this side of it if you want to get into the hole. But I really don't want to show him any of this right here. I do need to also be careful about flat plating this part of the turret, but right now I've got the turret pointed towards him. So I've got the turret pointed towards him. Probably need a little bit more right there. And I want to just show him this back edge, you know, the back part of my tank, and make him bounce off of that. I'm just sort of trying to bait him. I'll come back a little, act like I'm going. He'll shoot. That time it hit the wall, so it's a bummer for him. Not as much angle as I want here. He gives me a little bit more, and I see the defender, and I take that, but I don't quite get up under there, so I'm now back to baiting. So I just want to bait this ST. See, there we go. A little bounce off of him. I'm not sure where he hit. I get in there for the defender, but I overexpose, and the defender actually gets down. He gets down underneath, and let's see where he went. There you go. So he was actually able to get all the way over to this part of the lower plate. Definitely overexposed to get in there and get a shot off of him, off on him. So back to the baiting of the ST1. There we go. And now he's trying to go for it. And just catch him right up underneath his lower plate. Just enough of the hitbox to actually do damage right there. Now I got a love note from him afterwards. He was very much unhappy, but I sent him the replay. I think we left friends at the end of it. Just a bad shot on my part. I was really trying to get that sprocket right there. And now I see the defender. I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I can get him. There we go. Into the tracks. So I did not expose too much of my lower plate. Probably more than I wanted to. He gets into the tracks right there. Tracks me. I let that get repaired. And then he starts messing around. See if he over angles. Gives me some kind of shot here. That's not enough. So I don't want to do that. As soon as I shoot there, he's coming. And I am worried because we're not doing very well over here. They've got a lot of their tanks. This dude comes in, and unfortunately I don't quite get enough into his hole. I get a track, and then we lose a tank, and that's not good because it's just a 103 that's near dead. Now we've got a WT who's easy to damage but has a good gun, so at least the fear factor of his gun is there. Centurion gets in there a little too much, and I get a couple bounces by just minimizing exposure. And that's the other part about the side scrape right there. Is not only do you want to give a good angle on the side of the tank, you just want to minimize how much of your tank is available to shoot. You want to come out until you have a gun line of sight to shoot them, and then with the angle, minimize, even if you are exposing a little bit of the lower plate, you're trying to just minimize how much, as opposed to coming around the corner like this, which is angled, but you're giving them all kinds of stuff to shoot, to include coming into the side of your sprocket right there, which is very bad getting tracked, especially with your side to them. So two things to side scraping. Minimize the exposure and give them as much angle as possible. I see this guy charging. I thought he was coming, but he didn't quite go. I'm thinking, well, maybe he will come. Yes, he will. There we go. Didn't get the track, and I'm going to back around this corner. I can see that we're filtering around behind them, but we're not in a great position to stop right now. And if they had all just come around the corner, they probably beat us over here and are able to turn on the guys that are coming around behind them. The ST1's really goofing around. I considered tracking him. I was really hoping he might make a mistake and come forward just a little bit more. Doesn't do it. Not really sure what he's looking at. Come on, ST1. You can do it. You can do it. But he just doesn't want to do it. Lots of guys. Look at this. We've got all kinds of tanks in here. We haven't been able to seal the deal on him, but there's 5 or 6. There we go. He makes a mistake. Little angle, yes. And in that case, not side scraping, just giving him as much angle as possible while still moving backwards. A little wiggle, especially right when you think they're about to pickle that shot, can really throw their aim off. Some people are really good at that. I'm okay at it. I'm going to get up underneath right there, but I don't get a pin, and that hurt me. And now I'm in big trouble. I can angle, but the Centurion's got all kinds of pin. Takes a shot in there, puts 184. I'm backing out. He has a fast reload. He's behind a bunch of dead tanks, and I'm really in trouble here on what he's doing. Try to get into his... Oh, dang it. Just a little bit late. And now I'm back to side scraping against the Centurion. Looking for a shot. Just trying to bait that shot. There we go. That worked. So, nice trade on my part. I take care of that guy. Get the trade, and I've still got to finish him off. But unfortunately, now I make some bad mistakes because... he's still dangerous. He's back behind. Look at that. As soon as I shifted and gave him my lower hole, he just put a shot right into it, and he hurt my engine. So now I'm bumming. Trying to move in on this guy. There, look at that. Gets another shot in there. No damage, thankfully. And I'm able to put a shot into the back of his turret as he turns to deal with the even 90. So we'll come back in here looking for finish off shots. Trying to get this IS-3. Can't quite get to him. We'll come around this way. Oh, run into the wall, and that's no bueno. One guy, I don't know if I get any damage here. I got 2,700. I've got 3,770 pounds. Maybe I do get this dude. There we go. Last kill for me. Whole 169 damage. And ending up with 2 kills. 2,936. 3,770 blocked. And 403 assist. But a pretty good example of how it is. What the heck is going on here? Can't zoom out. There we go. Pretty good example right there of how to side scrape. Some of the things you want to do, you got to avoid over angling. You're trying to minimize the amount of the lower hole that they can see. Ideally, they shoot you before any of the lower holes shows up. Timing shots, all that good stuff for city brawls. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope that helped. If it did and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, and we will see you.